Okay, so I just want to hop in the practice range and just cover some of the abilities and how to use them most accordingly. So she can do a lot of damage, right? A ton of damage, right? Heals are pretty cracked. In the video, I discussed the importance of kind of delegating your orbs. How to do that. You don't want to just stack orbs like this, right? You want to make sure you have an orb on multiple people, and you want to prioritize those orbs accordingly. And so a lot of people will just, okay, throw in orbs, not knowing where it's landing, self-buff, have no more orbs. Alright, excuse the damage, right? So you weren't hitting any shots. Have no orbs, and when you need them, you can't use them. So you really want to manage these 4 orbs that pop up. Now in the beta, it used to be 5. And so Mantis was just super OP as 5, you can imagine. So with 4, you really have to delegate these orbs more accordingly, all right? And really, I like to always have an orb on my frontline tank. I like to have an orb on my second healer, and I like to have an orb on one of the squishy DPSs, like backline, the Hawkeye, Psylocke, an assassin, or someone that needs to, kind of poke and do damage and kind of put themselves in a vulnerable situation. So like a Gila or a Hawkeye, kind of orb preemptively. So even if they're full health, I'll put an orb on them, and then they'll go in the fight, and that's great because when they need health, they're already healing up. All right. So your shift, right, is asleep. And you really want to hold this for when you're being jumped and you have no other reason to use it. A lot of games, I don't even need to use my shift because my positioning is so clutch that one, the enemy doesn't know where I am, can't find me, can't kill me, etc. But say you do get jumped and Venom's just on you, or Spider-Man's on you, he's already got the web off, boom. All right, make the call out, tell a teammate, hey, turn around, self buff, boom, dead. All right. Q is huge, right? Look at the speed you get on this. The healing is pretty cracked. And you're able to fire while you're in it. Now, in Luna's ult, you can't damage. He offers more heals, but you can't damage. And with how much damage you do with your orbs too, and how much sustained healing you get, your ult charges so fast. So really, it's common to have, if you're holding a point, say on defense, the first point, you can ult twice within that, one during maybe the first fight and one during the second or third fight. And that's very common. A lot of other heroes don't get their ult as quickly as her. So just something to keep in mind of too. Use that ult. Don't feel like you need to hold it all the time, especially if you play with a Luna. Use this ult more freely, right? Just to secure fights, just to make sure you can cap a point, just to save that tank that if goes down, the whole fight's screwed, right? So, but if you don't have a Luna and they have plenty of other ults that can wipe you, then it's not as easy as that. You kind of have to play a little more reserved and use it accordingly, especially if there's like a Groot, Strange, etc. These AoE things, it's good to hold it for that. Okay. Okay, here's another game. Playing Mantis. We're on attack. We just capped the first point. I just want to discover some more orb discipline and how to use it most effectively. You really want to just have as many orbs popped, as many people as you can, and you want to prioritize the people the orbs are on. And so like Hanzo and Hela are getting orbs all the time, right? My Cloak and Dagger has enough self-heals with a right click to be fine, right? And I just said that I orbed her. But in general, right? I want to really orb the people that are squishy people. Keep one on my Thor for sure, right? But look at this orb, right? Look at this discipline with orbs. I ult to counter. I was also about to get jumped by that Venom, so it worked perfectly in retrospect. I got kind of cut off LOS. Have to go around. But we're back, right? Keeping the pressure up, keeping orbs up. I even damage boost our Thor, because he's really in there. But you'll see, I don't use damage boost very often, right? Because you only have 4 orbs, and so delegating those orbs accordingly is really the trick here. It's not just pump out damage. It's like you have to be aware of where those orbs are going to get the most value out of it, right? Right there is unfortunate. We got ulted. Wouldn't have any counters, so...
I built myself a new body. Like it?
No big deal, just waiting for the team to get back.
Stop them in their tracks.
Orb preemptively, again, right? He was about to peek, get damage. Now look for Halida Orb, right? She was about to get jumped. So it's just kind of looking at the team, trying to get an idea of what they're doing and orb accordingly. Like that Venom, whenever he's looking for somebody, I'm just orbing whoever that guy he's jumping on. With Thor, whenever he's in front line, he's just orbs. Right? Look, Moonlight need orbs. Look back, quick. Not frontlining, not trying to do DPS machine, just keeping orbs up, playing safe. There, I kind of messed up. I double orbed my Cloak and Dagger. You don't want to double orb somebody, okay? You don't want to waste two for no reason. That's a rare mistake, but just make sure you're aware of that. Especially when you're already low on orbs. It could be a really critical mistake to make, you know? Staying up, keeping backline up. No real greedy plays, if you see, right? Just playing with the team, pushing the payload, making sure my positioning is key, right? That's the biggest thing here. Just keeping orbs up. And you've noticed that I've hardly had to use my sleep at all. Partly because I'm playing so safe with my team, I'm not getting caught out. There's not really many opportunities for the team to jump on me. Keeping orbs, like 3 orbs, DPS, 1 on the healer. That's usually where you want to be, especially the tanks on the payload like that. Damage boost the Hawkeye just because he's so pushed forward. Ulting as a preemptive measure here to counter the ult and just to secure the point. Doing damage here because they're cut off from the team. Could have used the ult here. Just happens that way sometimes. So that was unfortunate. If I held the ult probably 10 seconds more. At the same time, we were all protected by healers. So it's always a judgment call when to use that Q or not. And I use it obviously to counter, but also you want to use it to secure a lot of fights. Here's the same game on defense. Okay. Match just started. They're playing a little tricky. They haven't peeked main. They're kind of looking for an angle to come at. We got a pretty divey comp to go against, so that's going to be even trickier as a healer. Even more prioritization on playing safe. So I'm going to play this cubby mainly, play this corner, not play main at all. Do damage where I can. Look for healers that need health. Really trying to just not get caught off, and it's could have happened a couple times there, but so far playing safe. A lot of the time they don't even know where I am, right? That's what's kind of nice about Mantis is it's hard to track her down. It's not like Shark where you can just see this big stream of water coming out. So we did lose that point, but you can see how look at me. I'm playing so safe to where we lost that point not because of me, but really just because we got a couple picks early on. This was a greedy ult. I saw Thor in there, and I thought maybe I can get to him. He died, so I just kind of have to turn around. In a perfect world, I could have been a second earlier and just ran straight to him. Maybe save the Thor. Could have stopped that point. I was kind of thinking, but there was some selfishness in not trying to die from the Venom. So, ultimately, you don't want to do that. You don't want to pop ult just because you don't want to die. But, hey, it does happen. Keeping orbs up. Tank and DPS, right? If I can find Thor here, that'd be pretty big. Got him. So it's not just throwing orbs, right click, orb. You're trying to be deliberate on who you orb and have a reason for it, given what's happening in the fight. Who needs the orb the most, given their positioning, right? You see right there, I just triple orb Strange, and that'll happen, and you don't want to do that, right? But that's a common reaction to have, thinking that you're going to just heal faster. But you don't want to stack orbs. First, we have to give up this corner. You can see I still haven't died yet. I'm doing plenty of damage, plenty of heals. There's just no reason for me to die. My positioning, if you think about it, has been very good all game. Counter it, right? Use my ult to kind of counter this penny. We just destroy the penny quick. Once again, like a broken record, just staying back. When there is opportunity to do damage, I do damage. But really, it's just keeping the team up, keeping orbs up. Pretty easy. You don't have to kind of complicate it. You don't have to be this... You're not Hela, right? You're not Hawkeye. You're a support. You're strategist. So you have to play like one. It's not just W key, shoot, shoot, shoot. I see plenty of Mantises that run in and die first or second in a fight and basically cause the whole team fight. Keeping my healer up, right? This Venom just can't do anything. Getting plenty of ult charge from that as well. Now we're back in it, orbing the people of interest. We got Hawkeye, Strange, and the other healer. Didn't re-orb anyone. Everyone's full. No. I probably should have peeked Hawkeye before that. Had to orb on that. Peek Moon Knight for an orb. Alright, so we got 3 orbs up. Probably re-orb Hawkeye would be a good call right here. $86 on ult. At this point, I'm just trying to stay back, trying to stay up. Not in ult. It'd be a shame to go down here. 93 on ult, right? Just looking for a spot. Now I pop. Or not. Or not, actually. Get disciplined, because there's still plenty of time left. Sorry, I thought there was less time left. You see, no sleeps are needed. Like, it's great I have it, but honestly, I don't even need to use it because of positioning. You're so fast, right? As long as you don't play greedy, you're not going to die very often. Now I have ult to counter, right? This guy literally can't do anything. A little dicey, but we came up on top. And positioning. And position. So, if there's anything you can take away, is just play safe, delegate your orbs accordingly, and then using your ults at the right spot. Don't panic, use ults, and don't ult only to counter. Use ults to secure team fights, and that's your judgment to make sure you know when to use it. Four orbs up right now, right? Healer, tank, 2 DPS. That's money. Massive damage, staying out of the mines. Now I'm DPSing here, right? Because look, they're so split. Now is the rare exception. Maybe I'll be in the front line to do some DPS. And that's because the game is about to be over. But other than that, I played the whole game super safe, and for a reason. And if we check the score, we can see that we had, sorry. If we check the score, we can see that we had 40 assists, 17k healing. So we did have good healing. Heals all around were pretty good, but that 40 assists, 22 and 1 just shows that our positioning that game, right there, shows positioning above all else, especially with all these other stats. We did have multiple team fights, and so just shows the power. All right, so for Mantis, there's a couple big tips that are important to remember. The main thing is just kind of your spacing in fights in general. You don't want to be caught in the front lines. You really just want to stay in back. Pop multiple orbs, right? Pop an orb on as many people as you can. You'll see them on the bottom right here, right? You see how right here it shows that it's healing. So you really want that to be filled with as many people as you can, all right? Don't really want to self-power as much. I see a lot of people doing that, wasting orbs, self-power. Unless you're getting jumped by a backline, like an Iron Fist or something, you don't want to pop that unless you have to take a 1v1 fight. You really want to reserve these orbs for your teammates, because from the beta, she used to have 5, and now it got reduced to 4. So it makes it even more important to kind of have, you know, some sort of control over where you put your orbs.
We are on our way to victory.
So just stay in the back line. You're going to see I'm going to start looking for people to throw orbs on.
That's better.
So although he's full health, I anticipated him taking damage right there, so I popped Magneto. And so it's all about kind of anticipation too. And so when you have a lot of flankers or you have a lot of assassins, it's good to pop one prematurely on them, because they're always kind of looking for a gap and opening. And so when they go in for the final blow, it's good to make sure they have an orb on them prior to that, before them needing one, and you having to get in a bad position to put an orb on them. So you really just want to stay back, pop orbs, play safe, right? Really hold on to your stun until you need it. Don't just throw stuns randomly. I see a lot of people doing that, and when they need the stun the most, they don't have it. Trying to pop an orb on Strange. We kind of played ring around. You really want to make sure you have an orb on somebody at all time, and 2 people preferably. You saw I just re-orb that guy right away, because I don't know if he's going to get back in the fight or not, but it doesn't really matter, because my orb's replenished by the time I need to use it again. 3 people orbed from the right side, you see that? That's ideal. Had to ult here to counter the Captain ult. Really, you want to just look for your teammates when you're ulting, right? Because it's an AoE radius, so you want to make sure you're aware of, kind of like a Zenyatta ult, where to go to heal your teammate, right? Because a lot of time your teammates are stuck in the middle of it, and they can't, one, make it to you, or even realize you've ulted to begin with. So you have to make the decision to kind of lead them to the ult. Alright, so here we're on attack. Same map. We capped it first, they recapped it. We're having some trouble here. So I'm going to just show you walk you through some of the line of thinking. Always trying to keep orbs up. So I have 2 orbs on kind of the main people I want. Magneto and the other healer. Should have one on one of the backliners, like this Psylocke. I should orb him. It's full health. I did that literally because it was free, alright? And half the other team wasn't even in. So if it was a team fight, I would have just elected to look for heals. The fact that half their team wasn't in, half our team wasn't in, I just went to get that Hela down as soon as possible. Just keeping an orb on my tank at all times. On the Magneto frontline tank, who's doing the most peeling. Fane's gonna need an orb here. Got an orb on my second healer. Ulting, just for preemptive measure. So you want to ult not only to counter, but just to secure team fights a lot of the time too. right? Because when we're at 75%, winning this fight is what matters the most. Not necessarily just countering some sort of ult. Now, if I had it here, right, it'd be a good counter. But look, we still have 3 up. It's 3v4. 1v1 in the Psylocke right here, right? Alright. So we're actually technically up. If I don't get caught off here, we can go back in. I don't. Remember, both our backliners are orbed. Okay. It's just expiring. Looking for more people to orb. 3 people orbed. Always playing back, right? Look at me on position this whole game. Just kind of staying back. Not in the front line at all. Not getting greedy. Trying to build ult as soon as I can. And that's how you really get the most value. You know, you're not going to do the most damage, but that's how you get the most utility out of it. You get as many orbs down, you farm ult, use ult as much as you can. You can win most 1v1 fights against the backliners, against assassins. It's just easy. So I'm out healing the shark and the cloaking dagger, which probably shouldn't happen very much, right? That just shows you how using those orbs in the right way, you can do massive healing.